Alright, you guys, we're still back in geometric instructions. This time we're going to be talking about perpendicular lines. What we know about perpendicular lines so far are two lines that form a 90-degree angle, or several 90-degree angles if they cross or intersect all the way through. Alright, so let's see, we're on slide 16, and I'll click on my GeoGebra activity. Okay, so I've got some kind of segment here and a point not on the segment. Alright, so let's see. Create a perpendicular bisector of AB and label the intersection point of the lines E. To verify your result, measure AE and EB and the angles between the bisector and AB. Take a screenshot of your work. So we're going to create a perpendicular bisector of AB. So here's AB, the entire segment. We're creating a perpendicular bisector of it. Let's see, perpendicular bisector is, I think it's the fourth one over. So fourth icon over, select perpendicular bisector. Now we've learned before, perpendicular bisector is going to bisect this segment. That means it's going to cut it in half. And it's also going to make a right angle where it crosses AB. So we're going to select perpendicular bisector, select the 2 points. I'm going to select AB. And as you can see, as I move it towards B, it creates it. So here's my perpendicular bisector, this line right here. And it bisected AB, which means it cut it in half. And it's going to make a right angle, well, in all four places, but right angles. All right, so we're going to label the intersection E. Come over to point, put a point right there, label it E. All right, to verify your result, measure AE and EB. So I'm looking for AE and EB, and they're going to be equal to each other because that's what a bisector does. So come over to your angle and select distance or length. Click on AE, and the distance is 3.91. Click on EB, and the distance is 3.91. So like I said, they're going to be equal to each other. And what else do we need to find? And the angles between the bisector. Okay. So we need to find these four angles. And they're going to be 90 degrees because that's what perpendicular means. Now I have a feeling in order to do that, I'm going to need to have points on either side here. And I might move this out. Yeah, I don't have points there. So I'm going to have some points. And it doesn't really matter where they are. But I have to have one above and one below to be able to select. So I'm going to come back up to my angle icon and select angle. And want to find these four angles right here. Now remember, when you select your 3 points, you have to go in a right circular clockwise motion. Otherwise, you get the wrong angle. Alright, so let's see. B, E, F. There's my first 90. Oops, wrong way. G, E, B. There's my second 90. C, E, G. There's my third 90. And F, E, C. There's my fourth 90. So I'm going to move these out so you guys can see them a little bit better. But all four angles are 90. And that, again, the reason was because the word perpendicular was there. So they're all going to be right angles. All right, so let's see. Take a screenshot. So I'm going to do Shift Command 4. Whatever computer you're on is what you need to do. And I'm going to insert image. Choose my file. Now on my computer, I've got it so it goes straight to my desktop. So I don't have to search for it. Give it a second or so and it'll pop in for us. So it's going to take its own time. It really is taking its own time, isn't it? Well, you're going to have to fast forward this until it pops in, or I'm just going to have to let it go. I guess I'm going to have to let it go. It doesn't act like it wants to go. So I'm going to click OK and hit submit. So you can see that's what it looks like, 3.91, 3.91. They only found one angle. That's fine, but they're all going to be 90. All right. Question 2. Create another perpendicular line to AB passing through C on AB. All right, so I have to create another perpendicular passing this time through C. All right, so I'm going to have to create one. Of course, we're going to find the angle. Yeah, we're going to find all the other stuff to prove that it's perpendicular bisector. All right, so create another perpendicular to AB passing through C. Now, it doesn't say perpendicular bisector. It just says perpendicular line. So I'm going to select the point. And the perpendicular line. Oh, I'm sorry. I selected the wrong one. Let me undo this. So perpendicular through C. There we go. So I've got a perpendicular through C. All right, measure the angle at the intersection to verify the result, and then take a screenshot. So I'm going to find the measure of this angle right here, and it has to be 90 degrees for it to be perpendicular. Now, for me to do this, I need a point somewhere on this line, so I've got to create a point. And now I'm ready to find the measure of the angle. Remember, I've got to go in a clockwise motion, and there is my 90 degrees. So let me move that so you guys can see it. There it is, 90. And they asked me to again take a screenshot, so hopefully it'll work this time. So question 2, insert image, choose my file. Hopefully it'll go in. Looks like my internet's going slow today, so it won't go in very quickly. A lot of technology. Make sure under the RHS, yeah. Looks like our internet's running slow today this morning. Fun times. All right, well, it says it's starting, but I'm just going to go ahead and move on. So if you submit, you guys can see mine's going to look just like theirs. Okay, again, I'm just moving on for sake of time because I don't want this video to be too long. And anything over 5 minutes, it'll cut me off. So let me move on. Question 3, create another line perpendicular to AB, this time passing through D. All right, so this time we're going to pass through D. So I'm going to come over here to perpendicular line. I'm going to click on D. I'm going to click on this line right here that I want it to pass through. So there's my third perpendicular line. I've got to find the measure of the intersection and then take a screenshot. Okay, well this time I'm going to have to move this little EB written statement right here because I've got to have a little dot here for me to find the measure of the angle. So I'm going to put a point at the intersection. Now I can find the measure of the angle. And remember, I've got to go in a right circular motion. So I'm going to click on B, the I that I made, and the D, and it's going to pop up 90 degrees. I'm going to move this so you guys can see it. And again, I'm trying to take a screenshot, but if it wouldn't go in the first 2 times, I seriously doubt it's going to go in the 3rd time. So I'm just going to come over here and hit submit just for sake of time. And as you can see, theirs looks exactly like mine. All right, question 4. Okay, so looks like we're going to open up another GeoGebra, brand new GeoGebra. Okay, it's the same one we've been working with, just the original. All right, you will see efficient approach. All right, so now we've got these little bullet points that we have to do. So I'm going to assume that we are going to do it in a different way than what I just did. All right, so it says create a circle centered at A with a radius greater than half the length of AB. So we're going to make a circle centered at A, and it has to go more than halfway over to B. Okay, so I'm going to make a circle. Well, looks like I have a center, so I'm going to need to choose a radius 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9. 10 looks like where B is, so let's go more than halfway, so let's go to 8. So that's a radius of 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to click on A, then radius of 4, click OK. Ew, that looks, I'm not sure if that's more than halfway or not. Let's undo that and do a radius of 5. So circle with radius, click on A. This time make it 5. I need it to be more than halfway, it says. Oh yeah, that's definitely more than halfway. So if I'm starting at A, I am closer to the B with this circle than I am the A with this circle. So I'm more than halfway like they asked me to do. All right, second, create another circle centered at B with the same radius. Okay, so I'm going to click on B, put a radius of 5, and click OK. All right, so definitely starting at B, it's more than halfway. And really what I wanted to happen is what happened. These two circles intersect twice. They intersect once above this line and once below the line. All right, so I'm done with the first 2 bullet points. The third bullet point, label the points where the circle intersect E and F. So I'm going to label the intersection at the top E and the intersection at the bottom F. So come over here to point. Come over to where they intersect, and that's going to be my E. Down here where they intersect, that's going to be my F. So that's your third bullet point. Fourth bullet point, draw a line through EF. All right, so I need to come over here to the third icon and select the line. I'm going to click on E, and I'm going to come down here and click on F. So now I've got a line through EF. All right, next bullet point. Mark the point where EF intersects AB as G. So I'm looking for where they cross each other, where EF and AB intersect. So that right there is going to be my G. So click on point, click at the intersection, and there's my G. All right, next bullet point. Measure the lengths of AG and GB. So I'm going to find the distance. So I need to come over to my angle icon and select distance or length. Click on AG. And I got 3.91, which is what I had before. And BG, which is 3.91. And if you don't believe me, see, look, I have 3.91 the way that I did it. 3.9 way, the way they're asking us to do it. And measure the angle in which EF intersects AB. Well, the first time I did it, it was 90. So I guarantee you it's going to be 90 this time. So come up to your angle icon and select angle. Remember, you got to go in a right circular motion. So I'm going to click on B, G, E. So there's my 90-degree angle. I'm going to move that out so you can see it better. So there's my 90-degree angle. And take a screenshot. Well, I'm going to try. So I'm going to do a screenshot. Insert image. And I'm going to choose my file. There's my screenshot. So let's see if it'll open. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Looks like my internet speed, finally picked up, but I'm only at 95. So hopefully it'll give me the last 5% pretty quick. So I'll sit here for a second or two. Come on, go through, go through, go through. Oh my goodness, I don't want to go. Internet issues at Ripley High School. I do these at school because the internet here at Ripley High School is faster than my internet at the house. This is typically what I find at my house, so I've stopped doing them as much as possible at the house and just do them during my planning period or after school. All right, it's not going to go through, so I'm just going to click forget it and hit submit. So you guys can see, I mean, exact same thing I've got, except it looks like their radius was smaller than my 5 because they kind of barely crossed each other. All right, question 5. How do the measurements that you recorded verify that EF is a perpendicular bisector of AB? Well, I don't know if you've been listening to what I've been saying, but perpendicular means that the angle at the intersection was going to be 90 degrees. The angle at the intersection of the segment and the bisector is 90 degrees. That is the definition of perpendicular. The next thing is the word bisector. If the perpendicular bisector cuts the segment into 2 equal parts, then it really is a bisector. The bisector must cut the segment into 2 congruent sections. Again, that's just what bisector means. So I'm going to hit submit, just using my vocabulary, you guys. All right, so they got the 90, which is perpendicular, and they got the bisect, which means they're equal, 2 equal parts. There we are. So they just use their letters and stuff, and I just use my statements. Self-evaluation, rock on with me. So I'm going to submit. I'm only on 16 through 34, so I'm pretty sure we're going to have another one. All right, so again, this was perpendicular bisector, which means 2 things have to happen, a right angle and a bisecting of a segment.